Okay, so let's begin this course by talking about the most common diabetes myths that are in the diabetes world. The problem is that most of the diabetes myths out there are misleading people into believing false things, which leads them to applying ineffective habits when it comes to managing their diabetes. Hence, they will rarely succeed in lowering their blood sugar or reversing diabetes. That's why it's of crucial importance to know exactly which is which and what's the truth about why you develop diabetes, what are the factors that you can control, and what are the basic steps toward reversing it in the easiest and most natural way possible. So this is what we're going to tackle in this first module. We're going to tackle the most common 5 diabetes myths that are literally killing you. Unfortunately, there are many more diabetes myths out there, but we're going to tackle just these 5 of them because they're probably the most common and they have the biggest impact upon your decisions. So without further ado, let's get to them. Myth number one is very interesting because it allows people to have an excuse for their type 2 diabetes. So the question might be, does diabetes run in the family? The answer isn't so straightforward as you might think. So I can't answer with a yes or no because the answer is highly individual. There are 2 short answers, yes and no. Let's start with the first one. Yes. Yes, your genes do count. So the more family members suffer from diabetes, which means that if your parents suffer from diabetes, or your siblings, or your grandfathers, or grandmothers, yes, the more chances you have to develop diabetes or other chronic health issues that are lifestyle related. So, the more family members suffer from these chronic health issues, the higher your chances to develop them also, or to develop diabetes more specifically. This was the yes part. However, the fact that your family suffers from lifestyle chronic issues, so to speak, this doesn't mean that you have to suffer from diabetes also. So, in more plain English, this doesn't mean that you have to develop diabetes in the first place, and this doesn't mean that you have to suffer from it for the rest of your life, which is where this course comes in which we'll show you how to reverse your diabetes in the easiest way possible and in the most natural way possible. So, why there's the no component? The no component is very strong because it allows you to take responsibility. It allows you to take control of your health situation. And that's because the real factors that contribute to your diabetes development are your lifestyle habits. The 4 most important lifestyle habits are your nutritional habits, your exercise habits, your sleeping habits, and your stress management habits. Obviously, there are some other lifestyle habits that have a important impact on your health also, such as the exposure to sunlight, having a high quality social circle, the levels of happiness you enjoy on a day-to-day basis, whether you're doing what you love or not. These are important factors nevertheless. However, when it comes to diabetes specifically, these 4 lifestyle habits are the most important. So, what you're eating, how much and what specifically exercises you do, how much you're sleeping and the quality of that sleep, and how you're managing your day to day stress levels. Unfortunately, these lifestyle habits are also inherited from your family. What do I mean by that? Allow me to give you a couple of examples to clarify the situation. Let's say that as you grew up, you enjoyed a diet of noodles, pastries, cookies, pasta, and many other processed foods. Although they may be enjoyable, they did surely have a negative impact on your health. However, this does not mean that your health is sabotaged for life, all right? But it does mean that you inherited, quote unquote, these habits from your family, and you're much more likely to continue them throughout your adult life. And believe me, it's very, very difficult to change the habits that you inherited from your family. Allow me to illustrate with another example. Let's say that your family wasn't too active, right? You didn't go for walks together. Maybe you didn't play various sports or activities and so on. Chances are that you won't have a too active lifestyle yourself when you uh, become an adult. So that's another example why you just inherited this habit from your family. Obviously, this inheritance, quote unquote, doesn't have anything to do with genes. It has everything to do with behavior, with the beliefs that we get from our family, and it has everything to do with the education that we got, okay? Nevertheless, the control is on your side again, okay? So no matter what your family history is, no matter what your genes are, and no matter what habits your family had, you are in control of your diabetes because you can change your lifestyle habits. And if you change your lifestyle habits, you have all the chances in the world to reverse your type 2 diabetes and restore your normal blood sugar levels. So, if you take control of your nutritional habits, of your exercise habits, of your sleeping habits, and of your stress management habits, you have the best chances in the world to reverse your diabetes.